Hi, I'm Bianca Coker and I'm one of the math consultants here at Region 10. In this video, I'd like to talk a little bit about one of our new math standards, 6.3c. This is from our Numbers and Operations strand. 6.3c states that the student applies mathematical process standards to represent addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division while solving problems and justifying solutions. The student is expected to add, subtract, multiply, and divide integers fluently. That's going to be interesting. We have not done integer operations before in 6th grade. So let's talk about some things here. First of all, just introducing integer operations is new to 6th grade. You will be introducing the concept of integer operations to your students. Now, your 7th grade friends have been doing this for a while. You might want to talk to them and get some hints. But basically, students must understand the concepts underlying the operations they're performing. And the best way to do that is with concrete models and diagrams. So make sure you're introducing those concepts with concrete models and diagrams. But here's the other thing they need to be able to do. You need to not just introduce those concepts with concrete models, but they need to be able to connect those concrete models to the symbolic representations for integer operations. They need to know when they see something like -2 divided by 7, they need to picture in their head what's happening with concrete models or with pictorial models related to that statement. And finally, they must be able to quickly and easily perform these operations with symbolic manipulation. That's that fluency piece. And this is also new. So not only as 6th grade teachers that you're going to introduce the concept of integers to your students who have never seen them before, you're going to introduce the concept of those operations using concrete models. You're going to connect those operations with concrete models to the symbolic operations, but you're also going to have to make sure that when those students leave your grade level, that they can quickly and easily perform integer operations with symbolic representation. And now that's some big things to do. And I know you're a little nervous, but talk to your 7th grade teacher friends. They've done it, and maybe they can give you some advice. All right, so here's my 2 cents. First of all, how to develop that conceptual understanding. My favorite model are 2 color counters. Those little circles that are red on one side and white or yellow on the other. I love those for developing the concepts of integer operations. Another model you might consider is our wonderful number line model. And you can look at adding and subtracting on the number line and maybe equate it to something like the football field. We're gaining yards and losing yards. We always love to do this with our checking account. However, most 6th graders don't have a checking account or even a bank book to look at and see things being added and subtracted. So that doesn't always work so well. So think about some models that your students would be familiar with. So when you're using these models, have students complete several examples. You want them very comfortable with the rules and how to perform the operations with the 2 color counters or whatever models you're using. In fact, they need to see more than one model because that's what we require of our students. And then have the students notice that pattern. As they're adding or subtracting integers, they'll notice that, wow, if the signs are the same, then we're just accumulating more of them, or we just add the counters together. And when the signs are different, for example, on the number line, we go different directions, and the number seems to be smaller. So have them look for those patterns and start articulating them. And then have the class agree on a symbolic procedure that matches that physical example. Gone are the days where we want to give them rules that make sense for us and have no concept for them. We want to take that conceptual understanding they're building with their concrete models and connect them to a rule that makes sense for them. And it's okay if it doesn't sound like your rule as long as you verify that it works and that the students all agree that it works. And when they have that connection between whatever rule they've come up with and that concrete model, they're going to believe it, they're going to remember it, and they're going to be able to use it. Now, how to build fluency. Again, this is a new word in our standards. And it recalls us to do something a little differently than when we're building that conceptual understanding. Automaticity is also a new word in our standards, and automaticity is built with drill. That's being able to do things automatically without thinking. Examples might be Mad Math Minute or timed worksheets with multiple problems or good old flashcards with multiplication problems on them. That's automaticity. When we talk about fluency, fluency is built with practice. This is a little different than drill. With practice, students need to have multiple opportunities to practice the skill and to think about what they're doing to develop their fluency. So here's an example. This might be a drill worksheet where there's lots and lots of problems the students do, and there's really no connection between the problems other than they're all the same kind of problem. For practice, we might see a worksheet that looks like this, where each problem extends or develops a slightly different concept that when the students are done, they might say, oh, I understand what this is about. This is about this. Or when I do this, this is how I get my answers. Practice will be generally fewer problems, but very purposeful problems. So, when you want to develop fluency, we've got to have our students practicing. Don't just assign it for homework. Maybe they'll do it, maybe they won't, and they need to have the fluency. So you need to do some of this in class. All right, that's it for now. If you need more help with how to develop the concept of integer operations with models, feel free to contact us at Region 10. We have lots of resources to help you with that. Thank you and have a great day.